Hey guys, Dom here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how this business owner used an AI sales agent to generate just north of $23,000 in cash collected. I'm going to walk you through his exact sales process, exactly where he is using AI in his business. Hopefully, this will help some of you out who are thinking about using AI in their business. Where do I use it? How can it be most effective? I'll break down that exact process. I'll show you exactly how his AI sales agent works. And stay to the end of the video because I'll show you how much it costs to run this system every month. And I think you'll be very, very surprised by that. Okay, so this is just a screenshot of what he emailed me. Now, this is last week, middle of February. So we launched his AI sales agents in middle of January. So, I mean, he doesn't even have full numbers for this, but 33 new clients, 15K in cash collected, another 69K still there in the pipeline waiting to be collected now here in this month. 8,500 in the middle of the month of February with another 28K still waiting to be collected. And just so you know, these numbers are double from what he did in December of 2024. And so he's loving it. It's great. Just to give you some context, so he is, if you can see at the bottom here, he runs a tax business. It was only him as the owner of the business and a VA working all of the leads. And so what was his challenge was he was getting a lot of leads, but his VA, they couldn't keep up with the volume because they were trying to manually follow up with every single lead. And they had some basic automations in place, but they knew that a lot of money was being left on the table. And so that's when they ended up coming to me. This is one of my one-to-one clients. And so that's when we started working together and we started implementing these AI sales agents. Okay. And so you can see here, I'll input another screenshot. Now, I guess he's a video game guy, but you can see here he was on his couch playing video games. The AI has been having conversations with leads back and forth, booking appointments for him. Life is super rough for him all over, which is quite a good thing, right? So let me take you through his sales process because now what he has is he basically has his entire sales process automated. All he's doing is showing up to the sales calls and closing the clients. The AI is taking care of all of the lead follow-up for him. His VA is able to focus on other tasks. And so just a win-win-win for everybody in the business. And so I'll walk you through his sales process really quick. So let me move over here. We'll create a brand new fresh whiteboard. And so the way his process works is from a lead generation standpoint, he runs ads on TikTok, Facebook, IG. Oh, good Lord. You can see I'm a Pablo Picasso over here, and he gets website traffic. Okay. And then obviously referrals. He has everybody opt in to a form, right? Name, email, phone number. That's when they become a lead. And then from there, they can go ahead and schedule a call. All right. Now, from this scheduled call, they either, and this is going to blow your mind, they either schedule it or they don't schedule. Whoa, mind blowing, right? Now, let's go down this don't schedule path, okay? If they don't schedule, what happens is, and we wait about 10 minutes 10 mins after they become a lead, right? To see if they schedule a call. Okay. After 10 minutes, if they haven't scheduled, we consider that a don't schedule. All right. Now, what happens here is this lead gets sent to something called an S2L AI. S2L stands for speed to lead. And so now he's having an AI sales agent reach out to this lead who hasn't scheduled their appointment to qualify them, to find out why they haven't scheduled, handle any light objections, and then get them over to a sales call. That's the whole job of this AI sales agent. And so this is primarily SMS based right here. They'll also get an email, right? But the main conversation is happening here over text message. Okay, so the AI is texting them, right? Conversating back and forth with the lead. At any point, right, this AI sales agent can book that prospect in for a sales appointment. Okay, and so this is something that is completely hands off for the business owner and for the VA in the business. This AI is having those conversations automatically. Okay. Now, if the prospect does not respond to the AI, well, now what happens? So now we'll call this day zero, okay? Because that's the day that they came in as a lead. So what happens is at day one, they're going to get another SMS and email. And by the way, I forgot here in about, if they don't respond in about 90 minutes, they're going to get a second bump message. Or I guess you can call it the first bump message, whatever. They're going to get a second text message, right? Then if they still don't respond, another 24 hours later, they'll get another text message and they'll get an email. Okay. And so this process is basically going to be duplicated, SMS and email on day 3, day 7, and day 14. All right, that's the process. Now, at any point during this process, this prospect can schedule an appointment on their own, or they can respond to the SMS that gets sent out or the email. When that happens, they go right here, right over to the speed to lead AI. That AI now takes that message, responds to it, qualifies them, either DQs them or sets them up for an appointment. And again, if at any point that prospect just stops responding to the AI, they go right back into the sequence right here. Okay, so that's how this process works, right? And so that's how it helped a lot with him because he was getting, a decent amount of lead volume, more than two people in the business can handle. Plus, he was doing all the sales calls. The VA was doing other work. And so it's not like their time, 8 hours a day, was solely dedicated to following up with leads, right? And so it was too much that they can handle. This AI is basically handling all those conversations for them, right? As soon as the leads come in and they don't schedule an appointment. So that's the process. Now, let's say after 14 days, nothing's happened. They haven't responded to anything. They haven't booked an appointment. Well, what are we going to do? Now, what do most businesses do at this point? Most businesses just throw them into like a newsletter email, right? An email once a week, maybe once a day if they're really on it. But other than that, they don't really touch that lead anymore. And so what we do is, yeah, we throw them into an email sequence, sure, email sequence. But what we also do is we wait 30 days because sometimes it's just a timing issue with people, right? Sometimes people need 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks to either feel comfortable or logistically be able to move forward with whatever it is that you sell, right? And so what happens here is after 30 days, they get sent to a different AI agent. This one is called the defibrillator. Okay, and the defibrillator, that is a name I made up because I think it's funny. The defibrillator is an AI sales agent that helps revive your dead leads. Haha, good joke, right? But that's what we named this AI sales agent, right? And so the whole job of this AI sales agent is to re-engage that lead that may have went a little bit cold, reactivate them, re-nurture them, and re-qualify them. Guess what? Into this booked appointment right there. Okay, so that is the process if they don't schedule an appointment. Okay, I just took you through that entire route tree. Now, let's say they do schedule an appointment. Okay, so what can happen here? Where did it go? Here it is. All right, so they can either, this is also going to blow your mind. They can either show or they can no show. Crazy, right? Or we can call this cancel for whatever reason. Okay. Now let's go down the no show and the cancel route. It is basically going to be the same as this entire process right here. Okay, so we'll call this on demand. So as soon as he marks them as a no-show, what happens is they'll get an SMS and email. Same process, right? They'll get an SMS and email on day 1, day 3, day 7, and day 14, right? Just like the other process where they don't schedule, at any point, the prospect could respond to this SMS or respond to this email, and that's where they will get sent over to this speed to lead AI. Okay. And the AI will take over the conversation from there and get them rebooked in for an appointment. That's how that workflow goes. Then, and you might be able to see where I'm going here, what we're going to do is we're going to wait 30 days. If we still get no response or they still haven't rescheduled their appointment, we're going to wait 30 days. And guess where we're going to send them? We're going to send them over to the defibrillator. Okay. And so the defibrillator is going to clean them up, right? The whole goal of the defibrillator is basically just make sure no leads go cold, leads that otherwise would have bought, but it was just bad timing, etc. Then they forget about you, then they see a competitor, not good things, right? And so that takes care of that process and basically takes care of you trying to manually follow up with all of your old leads, which is going to be very, very inefficient, right? And so that takes care of a lot. You'll be surprised as soon as you implement an AI sales agent like the defibrillator, you're going to book a ton of appointments really, really quickly and get a lot of cash flow really, really quickly, especially if you have a decent amount of leads sitting there in your CRM that you aren't doing anything with. Okay, so that is the no-show process. All right, then let's say we go down the show route. Okay, so now we have a lead that showed to an appointment. Two things can happen. This is also going to blow your mind. They can either close or not close. Crazy, right? Now, if they don't close, right? Obviously, if they close, very simple, right? They just get sent over to whatever client workflow that he has for them, right? Client workflow, great. We collect the cash. Everything is fine and dandy. Now, if they don't close, this is where things get a little bit interesting because what we have to identify is, well, why did they not close, right? Did they not close because of fear? Did they not close because of pricing, which is kind of just fear, right? Did they not close because of a logistical type of problem, right? Did they not close because of a specific industry problem that you have in your industry, right? And so what we have to do is we have to identify all the different reasons why they may potentially not close, right? And we have to see if on the sales call we can identify that properly. And then what we can do is we can create different types of nurturing sequences. Nurture sequence from here, right? Now, these are going to focus a little more heavily on testimonials, case studies, results, etc. Right? Because they're on the fence. They probably just need a little bit of a nudge, just depending on what their objection is, right? And so this nurture sequence, not hard, right? Day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14. SMS and email primarily focused on these things right there. Okay. And then what's going to happen is if they still do not move forward in this time frame, or they still don't answer, right? And if they do answer, they can get sent over again to a either different type of AI sales agent trained on post-appointment leads, right? Or they can just get sent over to the business owner because the business owner can actually handle those leads that are, on the fence, right? And so you can do it any which way. He's handling those on his own right now. Okay. Um, but what we have after this is if they still don't move forward, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to depend on why they haven't moved forward in the specific pipeline, but this is going to be a wait 30 to 60 days now. And guess where they're going? Guess where they are going? Right back to the defibrillator, right? And so this is basically how we've created a foolproof system that none of the leads die, right? And none of the leads go cold because they're all getting back to the defibrillator, right? And then if they still don't engage with the defibrillator, at that point, guess what's happening? Wait 60 to 90 days. And guess where they're going? Right back, right? Just different messaging. And so that's how his entire sales process works, right? And so this is how he's been able to make very, very quick cash with the defibrillator when he first turned the defibrillator on, and how he was able to double his appointment volume with this speed to lead AI right here. He was booking about 4 or 5 appointments a day, right? Now he's booking 10 plus appointments a day. And so really, really crushing it with this. Lead volume's been relatively the same, right? His conversion rate just went way up because now he can actually handle his leads and actually convert them. And so that's his entire sales process. Okay. Now what we can go over is we can go over how the AI sales agents actually work, right? Like how does the AI sales agent, how does it actually respond to the leads that he has, right? So lead comes in. Let's make this a little bigger. Lead comes in. Okay. So let's say it's the speed to lead AI sales agent, right? The AI sales agent sends a first message. Two things can happen here. Gonna blow your mind. Okay. The lead can either respond or not respond. Crazy, right? If they don't respond, I actually already touched on this. They get sent a bump message one and a bump message two to get them to respond. Okay. If they don't, then they go into the holding pattern, wait for the defibrillator. Okay. Now, if they do respond, what happens is this response is going to get sent over to a trained chat GPT assistant on his business. And so we use chat GPT. We go into OpenAI, platform.openai.com. We create an assistant on there. We train that assistant on his business, on his sales process, and where this lead is at in the pipeline and how they need to be qualified. Okay, so that prospect's response gets sent over to that chat GPT assistant. This chat GPT assistant is going to think of a response to the prospect. It's going to send that response back over to the business's CRM where they text their leads from. In this case, it's Go High Level. Then we have set up automations where the CRM will automatically text the prospect back, and then the prospect will respond. And it's going to continue, as you can see, this beautiful loop right here, going in this loop, right? AI is handling all the conversations back and forth. We've set up the automations where it can do that. No manual intervention required, right? It will continuously go in that loop until that prospect is either disqualified. So we've trained the AI to look for disqualification flags, or they are qualified and they book an appointment. That's exactly how this process works. Very simple conceptually, right, to understand. Technically, quite difficult to actually build this all out in a way where it works. You're getting the right responses that you need out of ChatGPT, and it's actually responding to the prospects every single time that they message back, right? And so that's like the technical stuff. I'll show you how to build the technical stuff here in a second. But what I want to do is go over how much this system costs him to run every single month, because I think that is probably going to be the most surprising thing that I go over in this video. Okay, so let's look at software costs. Okay, so he's using his CRM, which is Go High Level, GHL. That's 97 a month. Okay. And I absolutely recommend, if you're going to build these types of AI sales agents, you utilize Go High Level because it's the easiest platform to utilize to run them on. Even if you have a different CRM where you do like client communications, I know a lot of industries have industry specific CRMs where they do their invoicing from estimates if they're a home service business, right? Things like that. Still keep that. Absolutely, you can keep that. But I would recommend, if you're going to utilize AI sales agents like this, utilize Go High Level on the front end for your lead conversion, because the way I do it, it's very easy to build out those automations and Go High. Well, I say easy. Let's say simple to replicate this process, right? Building out the automation is not easy. It took me 6 months to actually figure out how to do this the right way. But it's a lot simpler to replicate and set up, which I'll show you how to do in a second. But so his CRM, $97 a month. Okay, he's paying that monthly. Now he uses Zapier which I believe he is on the $20 a month plan. So $20 a month. However, you can also use make.com with this. And so let me just put in, you can also use optional make.com. And on make.com, you get 1,000 operations per month for free. And so you don't need to use Zapier. You can start with make.com and you can start it for free. He was already using Zapier for other processes in his business. And so it was just easy to add this to his Zapier account. Okay, so that's Zapier. Then we have OpenAI, usage cost, right? And so the way that OpenAI gets billed is on usage. So basically, every time you send a response to this OpenAI assistant, right? So he's got two. He's got the speed delete and he has the defibrillator. Okay. Every time you send a response to OpenAI, OpenAI has to use input and output tokens to create a response, basically to the prospect. Okay. And each time it does that, it eats up usage costs. Okay. Now, the usage costs are going to vary based upon number one, how good your prompting is. So basically, how good you train your AI sales agent. And then number two, the model that you use. So we use the 4.0 mini model because it's cheap, number one, but it's powerful and it gives you good responses. And that's why we use the 4.0 mini model. And I think this is going to be the part that blows you away. So he has used this on hundreds of leads already. He's been using it at this point of recording a little bit over a month, right? About a month and a week right now, every single day. It's been hundreds and hundreds of leads that he's messaged back and forth, right? Some leads don't respond, some leads do respond, and the AI for those, it could be 5, 7, 10 messages for a conversation, right? So a lot of text messages, a lot of different back and forth with this OpenAI assistant. In a little over a month, his usage costs, I just looked before I recorded this video, his usage costs are 13 cents. 13 cents of usage. So it's basically nothing per month, right? And even if he scaled this, even if he doubled, tripled this, like it's under $1 a month. It's insane. And so that's why training your AI is extremely important and understanding how to train it on these cheaper models, right? Like the 4.0 mini model, so you get really good outputs, but your usage cost is basically nothing, right? And so I was actually like, holy crap, that's awesome, right? 13 cents. So if we add this total up, right, $97 a month plus $20, we're at a grand total of $117.13. That's what it costs him to run this system every single month. Guess what? If you use the make.com automation at the start, you'd be paying $97.13, right? You may need to upgrade to the $10 a month plan eventually as you scale this thing. But the $10 a month plan would have you at where am I at? 107, sorry. 107.13 per month. Brain fart. Okay. But if you look at this, so let's say you're between, $100, $115 a month for basically an AI employee that does all of your follow-up for you, right? So even if you're not using Go High Level, the Go High Level is going to be, the major cost of this entire operation, but it's still so cheap to the point where you have an AI employee handling all of your follow-up for you. And think about the difference between hiring a VA, hiring a salesperson to do that. Like it's insane. And you can have as many different AI sales agents for as many different functions in the business as you want. And so that's why when I learned how to do this, I was like, holy crap, more businesses need to know about this because it's insane. The main thing is you just have to get the AI to have the right outputs. And that's the hardest part of this whole thing is training the AI where it's actually responding to your prospects in the right way. Okay. The technical setup's pretty easy. I can link for you here in this video. I have a whole video breakdown of me technically setting up the entire sales agent. I set it up in Go High Level, all of the automations, how you use Zapier, how you use make.com, either or to integrate it with the OpenAI assistant, right? Just how to set up all that technical aspect. So you can go ahead and watch that video if you would like. If you don't want to do that, and you just want me and my team to build this entire thing for you, there will be something in the description where you can speak with us, and we can go ahead, assess your business, assess your sales process, and see if we might be able to help. Okay, but that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something about potential ways that you can utilize AI in your business, and I'll see you on the next one.